Welcome back to The Creative Lens. This week, Jake and Colden are joined by Todd V for a gear-heavy episode about the pocket camera wars. DJI is suing Insta360 over the Luna Pro and the Luna Ultra. Insta360 is firing back with their own patent lawsuits, and the guys are breaking down what this means for creators, competition, and innovation. Todd shares his first impressions after buying the Luna Ultra with his own money. Colden and Jake talk about Sony's new high-end phone sensor, and we test out a new AI segment called Bought and Bothered. Let's get into it.
What's up, Todd? Welcome back to the show.
How you
Jake,
doing?
Good to see you again, brother.
Jamming to the intro music over here.
I appreciate it.
It's always a party. It's always a party.
Right.
All right, we got a lot to get into, guys. I know we want to really break down the Luna and the Insta360 drama. The first thing, though, I did want to kind of bring this up first because you guys both interacted with this. I figured I'd go out and just do like a little camera test, and I was so interested in this. And so this was my camera test that I put out, just working on like little interview setup outside, right? And just a little light color grade on it. So I wanted your guys' thoughts, like roast me on this one a little bit. What did you think? A, B, C, or D? I put out a poll on this, and I was shocked. I was actually kind of surprised at what people liked.
I was one of the first ones to respond.
I know you were.
And so I don't know what the poll ended up. So I'm actually curious of I want to hear what the audience, what the results you got. I loved B. I thought B. Again, I didn't know what camera's what. B was my first choice. C was my second choice. Todd,
what do you think?
Yeah, B is my favorite. I love the color. I love everything about B. A is that just way too soft. Been there, done that. Go away with that. D, I was worried was going to be the Luna because I didn't love the color grade, and the focus was there. And C is good. C, I would take C, for a client, but I was hoping the Luna was B if you actually used a Luna. That's just what I don't know. So.
Well, I will give it away. I think Jake knows. So what was interesting on Instagram, B was definitely the highest vote. And I don't know if this is not like a color grading exercise for me. It was more like setting up almost exactly the same. Like I tried to stay true to same ISO, same exposure, same aperture, and look through the difference of these 4 different sensors and how close one could cut to the other. So there's like a slightly different, I think A was a little bit softer of a color grade. But what was interesting is A and C should be the closest together. And because it's same ISO, same aperture, same lens. They're wildly different. Like even just in this raw, like if you just look at like raw exposure, like significant stop difference between wherever it is, C and A up here, like totally different cameras. A and B almost cut together better. So here's what we got.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What, with no order, what are the 4 cameras? And see if we can guess them.
Okay. With no order.
No order.
So I shot on FX3.
Okay.
I shot on the iPhone 17.
Okay.
I shot on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. And I shot on the Nikon ZR.
So no Luna, you big.
Watching this.
But there's also no Komodo. Like I list like 14
Yeah.
different cameras you could pick from. I wanted to make it more challenging, but those are the 4. iPhone, Blackmagic, Sony, FX3, ZR. Now, what do you think?
D is iPhone.
Absolutely. Yeah. D is iPhone with the Blackmagic Pocket into Apple ProRes RAW.
Okay.
I like the ProRes RAW.
Yeah.
It's still crushed. Like even just trying to move those colors around a little bit, get the exposure to match the other 3. It was tough to try and do that.
I was an early adopter of that whole ecosystem too. And then I got to where I hated it because for some reason, the Blackmagic software keeps thinking my storage is full, even though I'm going to an external drive and it would say like, oh, you've only got like 30 gig left. I'm like, I have 700 gig left on this drive. Why can't it tell? And I'd uninstall it and reinstall it. And it like, there was something wrong with the software where it couldn't figure out that I had plenty of storage, and it would kill my interviews. I was like, I can't use this anymore. Cause I was loving that for one of my clients, for the ballet that I work with. It was great for like this little low impact, go and do an interview, capture studio footage. But it's like, I can't have it not record when I have plenty of room. It just destroyed. I was like, I'm over it. I was looking for other solutions.
I really like on the 17 that you can just plug a USB-C, like an SSD drive, right into the iPhone 17. I think that solves some of your problems, because then it's going straight to the SSD. Yeah. That was cool. Yeah. But what I noticed that drove me nuts is that it's very picky what USB-C cable you're using. And
that could be.
And the USB-C cable that iPhone gives you with the camera, not data heavy enough to handle it. So it kept dropping. I'd like record for 2 seconds. I'd get set. I'd kind of fake talk, and it would have already dropped the frames and shut off. So, and you can see even in just like a CST correction here, it just crushes. Yeah. And like, it has a decent amount of headroom here, and just a CST, you're like already crushed in the black. So there's some detail to pull back out, but like it was the hardest one to grade on. For sure. Okay. So that was iPhone.
What were the other 3 cameras again? I got so excited I lost track.
Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, FX3, ZR. So you've got red, red's color science.
ZR is A.
ZR is A. You nailed it. And maybe it's my new camera bias. I was like, oh, that was the easiest to grade. It looks the most filmic to me. It was on an 85 mil at 1.4. So, and I think the other thing you said, it was soft. So that was, in terms of A and C, I did not have autofocus on for A. I just kind of set a point, got in and talked. So it might've been off by a little bit, and it's a Sony 85, the G Master 85. So like, it might've been a little off from the Sony like native. And I did have autofocus on for that. That was the other thing with the Blackmagic camera. I always felt like on, where is it here? D over here. I always felt like D was a little soft. Like it just missed. I know it's an iPhone, but it just felt like it was like actually behind me and not on me. So yeah, the A is the ZR. Everybody voted for B, and that was the Blackmagic camera. That's like less than $1,000 now.
That was going to be my guess. I was good. Yeah.
And Easy FX3.
And CZFX3, which like makes sense. It's the most sensitive sensor in terms of like the 3 of them. So at 800 ISO, like it was way brighter than the ZR at 800 ISO. It's just crazy how sensitive that sensor is. All the same settings, way brighter.
But I'm impressed with the Micro Four Thirds, 4K. Like for a camera that is what now 10 years old, 8 years old.
Older than that. Yeah.
I mean, it is by far the oldest camera of the group.
Oh yeah.
And arguably still looks the best. And it really goes to show, like, so what lenses were you using though on the Blackmagic?
So 4K? That's the crazy thing in terms of like cost. The ZR is a $2,000, $2,100 camera with the G Master, which costs just as much as the ZR. The FX3 is a $4,000 camera, give or take, with a $2,500, $2,000 lens on it. That was the most expensive in the kit. The Blackmagic, so the other thing that's really great, it's got the speed booster on it from Metabones. So it takes the Micro Four Thirds sensor and it puts it more like an APS-C. That has my cheap Sigma, I want to say it's like an 18 to 50. So that was punched all the way into 50 at f2. It's the EF. It's the Sigma EF lens put on the Metabones. F2 because you get that extra half stop of light from the Metabones, and punched in it. Like that was the one I did have to zoom that in to get it to shot match a little bit closer, because
so you could say even down, you're lost a little bit of resolution because you're cropped in.
Right.
More because in post, but like I mean, it goes to show you an a Sigma art lens, nothing like we're not talking some crazy high-end lens by any means, and you can produce that, which arguably that camera is now cheaper than the iPhone.
It probably is.
Like your iPhone 17, like what is an iPhone 17 now? Is it iPhone 17 Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pro Max.
Yeah. Oh, the Pro Max. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the iPhone. So the 4 was the iPhone 17 Pro Max. 3 was the FX3. So like definitely I spent more money on the iPhone than
iPhone. Let's say the cheapest one is 250 gigs is $1,200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, going up to $2,000. Like
that's
I think pretty crazy.
Yeah. And I think you can get that whole Blackmagic setup with the Sigma lens. Maybe the Metabones has held its value. Like that's still a little bit harder to get, but you can get that whole setup for less than an iPhone for sure. The only thing you're going to have to do is buy an SSD. Yeah. To buy an SSD though, that's the only thing that's going to cost you a crazy amount of money to run off of. But the fact that Blackmagic, you can record on the SSDs, like, man, I wish every camera would let you do that. What a cool feature.
It was awesome.
I use that thing all the time.
It was always just a pain getting the caddy to download the footage. Finding that junky caddy to get the footage to your computer.
Dude, it's so easy. Plug in the SSD and you go. You can actually like go project to end delivery and literally never have to move anything anywhere. It's brilliant.
Once I realized that, it was the wildest thing. I was like, I can edit on the same card that I'm shooting on. It was
dude.
I still don't trust it. I still don't do it because it's just mentally weird for me. But I kind of sometimes go, maybe I just do. I have, gone against that rule occasionally, but it's
for quick turnaround, man. I would always copy it over to my NAS or copy it over to a second, spot. But man, just pulling it off of the drive, and it's so like the B-RAW is underrated for how good it is. Like B-RAW is just a great codec to edit in, especially if you're a DaVinci person. It's just, and now they have autofocus in the Pixis 6K. Jake, Todd, if they gave us autofocus in the 12K, I would
sell it all.
I would put my credit card down tomorrow. That is such a nice camera. Just give me a little bit of autofocus in the 12K. Holy cow, that's going to be a great camera if they could figure out how to do that. So, all right, let's jump in. We do have some questions about Luna. Everybody wants your thoughts on it, Todd, since you've got it. But Todd and I have now done probably too many videos on this lawsuit drama. But like, there's a lot of lawsuit drama. So I'm going to bring up this first. So this is what I saw that hit my feed last week, Thursday, Friday. DJI sued the day Insta360 came out, sued Insta360 for patent violations. And the reporting is saying that they were planning this since NAB. Jake, you remember you were at NAB. You were like, I saw the Luna.
They were
ready. See a lot of the DJI.
Hey, drop the camera. We go. Bam! Just ready for that right.
And Jake, you and I were like, wow, this feels weird. Like we covered the Insta360 launch.
Yeah.
Going like, their own team didn't know.
For months, we've been tracking all of this.
Yeah.
And, for it to just drop like this. Because also, I mean, you look at it and it's like, it looks exactly the same. But also, like, you look at all these cameras, they look very similar. So it's very interesting to see what is patentable. And look, I can tell, at least speak for myself. I am the furthest from a patent attorney, anybody who knows any of this stuff. But I go, yeah, I mean, it's similar, but how close is the GoPro versus the, any of what Insta360 is doing versus DJI is doing, like the action cameras? Like the action cameras all look the same to me. Like,
yeah.
No,
what is the difference?
So Colden and I were having the same conversation. If you go to Best Buy and you look at a Sony DSLR and you look at a Canon DSLR and you look at, they all look essentially the same.
Yeah.
So, you can't sue them because it looks similar. I know someone in one of my videos commented that it's really the one they think they hold the most water on, and I think this is true, is the way that user interface is so similar.
So I've got exactly, Todd, I didn't have the countersuits when we did our episode, but I have this, I have the suits. I want your thoughts. And like, and here's where I want to frame it. Like, there are huge amounts of reasons. Like, one, this is only happening in the United States.
Correct.
US patent law only applies to US patents, not Chinese patents. Like, there were comments on my video that were like, they're both selling fine in China. Nobody's fighting anybody in China. This is only happening in the US. But that, I mean, every country makes their own laws about patents and what you can protect versus what you can't protect. Arguably, United States has more stringent patent laws and can sue each other more often. But patent laws are really a good thing if you're a company developing intellectual property, or like, take this outside of cameras, like pharmaceutical drugs that take millions of dollars to produce, and R&D and testing, and like, it's a good thing that you can protect that kind of stuff. The weird thing is two Chinese companies fighting in the United States over patents that they probably ripped off from other people anyway. Like, all of these things have kind of been copied. So here's the list of what DJI is suing Insta360 over. We're going to go one by one. Anybody in the comments, you tell me how legitimate these potential claims are, knowing that none of the three of us are patent attorneys, so we know nothing. The Petapixel original article says the ornamental design is kind of what they were referring to. So the elongated handheld body, that's part number one. Is that allowed to be a patent? An elongated handheld body?
I mean, anything can be, but it doesn't, this goes back to what I was saying before. All those DSLR cameras have essentially the same body. Yeah. If you're going to make a pocket gimbal, it has to have a handle. And since all these are a handle with a gimbal, how else would you make it? With handlebars? How else would you make it?
Yeah. Like, okay, just like, it also is, I mean, unless they were literally the first person and like nobody else had anything like this, then okay, you can patent it. But like, it is, I mean, it is such a wild thought process to go through it. Like, and what I find is just to take it one step further, which I find so fascinating, is that DJI, right, is getting shut down here in America, right?
They've got certain products that are on the FCC covered list. I want to like be as clear as we can on that stuff, because there's a difference between shut down, banned, and the current FCC covered list. It's all super confusing. I tried to get as much information as I could over the weekend, and I'm still confused.
Yes, so there are things that are not allowed to be sold out here.
Yes.
Right. First and foremost, the DJI drones, then, which somehow fell in these handheld gimbals, fell into that. And I think I'm kind of thinking this aloud right now, because you brought this topic into the show and I didn't get to do the research before, but I'm looking at it like, I think it's a countersuit because they can't sell the gimbals. So they're trying to slow that rather than losing the market share to DJI, you know? Yeah. And DJI is just trying to stop any hemorrhaging in the US market, because Insta360 is a Chinese company, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
yes.
Why are they not getting stopped? And so it's just a fascinating.
One weird comment that I had. Weird comment that I had on my video, and somebody fact check me. I don't know how I could even get this information, but they had mentioned that, I mean, I guess you could pull like patents or releases, but both the 4P and the 4 were already cleared in 2025 before this 2026 FCC covered list came out.
Correct.
I don't know if that's 100% true, because it's weird to me that they just would choose not to sell. But that was one comment where I was like, okay, if they did, I mean, I remember those like kind of patents being registered early and trying to get in early. But if that made it a choice, then it's really wild. I don't know.
There's a couple of problems. from what I have seen is one is that it seems to have really affected the whole product line going forward of everything. Like you, I don't, if you can spend some time, I don't think we're going to see new action cams or anything available in the US market. And the one way you can just check this easily is just go to DJI.com and say you're in any other country than America and see more stuff available than here in America. I was playing around with the DJI Neo 2 and I was like, oh, I wanted to get that transmitter thing for the back, the thing that extends it to the other remotes. I can't even buy that in the US market, just a little block. But I changed it to Canada. Oh, here it is for sale. And it's cheaper than it is on Amazon. It seems to be affecting everything. And this is tinfoil hat time. Just be aware. I don't have any knowledge of this, but I have been told on my channel that the major problem, Jake, is yes, those are both Chinese companies, but somehow the Chinese government is intertwined with DJI at an elemental level, and that data, just like TikTok, that lands on their servers is available to the Chinese government. And that becomes the problem because everything in the DJI ecosystem can go up to this cloud. And even I think, even if you say no, or you don't use it because it's available and the Chinese government wants it, I don't know what's going to the cloud or isn't. So there is some security concern there, but I've said for a long time, but everything we're doing is caught in spyware at this point. So your thermostat is connected to spyware now. I don't know.
But the only company is what country controls that spyware.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's,
I think in the primary, unfortunately, the primary problem is that Donald Trump Jr. wants to get into the drone business.
Yeah. I remember even just the US company Skydio or whatever, like there was there was a conspiracy of that like they're blocking DJI. I will say, for at least one explanation of why DJI may have ended up on this covered list prematurely or expeditedly over Insta360. And Todd, I'm going to quote you back to you. And if you guys that are watching want to go watch Todd's video that he and I talked about DJI and Insta360, you said, we were talking about the drones, maybe the Mavic and the dual lenses on the Mavic.
Oh, yeah.
And you said, dude, that's spy level stuff, having that telephoto lens on there. And my argument to like anybody that's like, why did this company get put on a covered list and this company didn't, literally is because there were so many DJI drones in the air at any given time. And you were right to say, like, those telephoto lenses that they have on there that you can punch in, like, you can see people in their apartment buildings with those telephoto lenses. And
from a mile away.
You're right. Like, where's it going? And I get the market share of DJI in 2023 and 2024 is not comparable to GoPro or Insta360. Like, Insta360 has this anti-gravity drone. They have a drone, and it's sold kind of good, but DJI had hundreds of thousands of drones in the air at any one time. And I think, to comment when I had put this video up about the lawsuit was like, oh, Insta360 should totally start making drones. Then you're going to get like it's just a little bit of a, right? Like that's where I would be. If I was Insta360, I'd be a little nervous about doing that because it kind of puts a target on your back. Yeah. So Insta360 should start a new shell corporation in Delaware called Extra360 and just start selling.
Instax 360. Yeah.
That solves all the problems.
It seems too, because you could go even buy that Sky Rover drone. And I love even on the materials, it says former engineers of DJI are working with us. Former. It's okay. And they're pretty cool drones, and not expensive.
I don't mind seeing more competition on it, but let's go back to like this lawsuit, which is like seemingly trying to stop some of this competition. So we got as per the usual here, which I love, we got fully sidetracked after one. So I'm just going to list out all of them, and you guys tell me how wild these are or if they make sense.
Okay.
The neck connecting to the camera of a gimbal arm, the gimbal assembly and camera module, a rotatable display and bezel.
I was trying to bring it
here?
up. I messed everything up.
Yeah. What did we do? We took
Touch
Todd
things,
off.
Jake.
I'm just reading
was trying to
something.
help produce in the background because Colden was presenting, so I was trying to wear the producer job, but I don't know how to wear the producer job.
I appreciate you, man. I just have these notes. This was not fully listed in petapixels. These are just my notes. So it has a lower control section. They're trying to claim patents on a lower control section of a gimbal.
No.
The scroll wheel and record buttons, side-mounted accessory slot, and a port opening at the bottom of the base. Those are all patent suits from DJI to Insta360.
Side-mounted
I'm sorry, some of
accessory
that
slot.
sounds wild.
There's no side-mounted slot.
Yeah.
What? They put a door over the memory card.
I think that's what they're talking about.
Whoa, you could put a memory card at the bottom on the side. Whoa.
Yes.
Well,
maybe that's it.
A scroll wheel and a record button, guys.
I don't even know what they're talking about. There's no scroll wheel.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe are they talking about the joystick?
The joystick?
I don't know.
I guess.
Then also DJI claims utility patents. So the first one were design patents, so what it looked like. Then the utility patents that DJI is claiming, a gimbal control device that switches between follow and lock mode through a single control.
Yeah.
I mean, Hoem, Fayutech. I was literally trying to think back. Y'all remember Kane TV? That was like the first Chinese. I have the first Kane TV gimbal. That had modes that you switched through. So I just
the Xiun
was the first. The
Xiun gimbal, which is what I rock.
Yep.
Lock and follow.
A handheld gimbal with integrated subject tracking and real-time display.
Okay, you mean a viewfinder? Like it's gonna be
a gimbal control method where the camera's own image of the subject drives the motor commands. That is, I will say, like, if you're gonna patent anything, they might have been the first one to do that. Okay. But I don't know, because I guess the actual camera that's integrated into their product is tracking, but like on the Xiuns, you could set your camera up, or you could feed your camera's HDMI feed into the app, and then the app would track the gimbal. Yeah. So I don't know. I get it, but those are, what do you guys think? Flimsy, or are they legitimate?
I think it's a big play to slow down the sell of this and to try to get the U.S. government to lift this embargo essentially on them, because they have now 2 new of these gimbal cameras, the 4 and the 4P, that are not being sold in the States, and that are essentially black market products in the States. And so I think it's an effort to slow it down a little bit, but I don't see any basis for this suit. But it's, they're willing to lose the money on the lawyers. So I don't know.
And to add what you're saying, I think in my mind what they're doing is, and I'm one of them, trying to put doubt in the mind of the DJI fanboy. Like, oh, they have copied my company I'm loyal to. I mean, I'm seeing a little bit of that vibe in some of the comments. Like, most people are more upset with DJI for even doing this, but you can see some going like, I love DJI, I love the ecosystem, and it's giving them pause. And that's part of it too. Like, if you're someone who's loyal to a product, you feel like, oh, if you cheated to make that product, it might make you think twice about buying it.
Yeah.
It didn't stop me though, because I was desperate to get one of these cameras. I want this for work. For so many reasons I want it. So I was just like, whoever hits the ground first for me, and they won.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was just going to agree with you, Todd, on that. Is, you know, I like, again, I like DJI. I think they're a solid company. I've, you know, loved their products for years. And again, I go, ooh, do I cheat on DJI and go Insta360 with this? Like, I was happy to go with the Insta360 like 3S, the small one, right, with the larger action camera, and be like, yeah, I'm leaving GoPro. I'm done with you, GoPro. And like, I've divorced you and I've moved on. You know, you're an ex now.
Yep.
But again, from a drone standpoint, I'm like, ooh, can I get another company that's not DJI? Like, from this, I'm like, ooh, can I go to something that's not, because they're such the industry leader. Right. And I go, can I trust this? But so I'm really excited to see your footage, your feedback from, you've now had it for a week or so.
1 week. Yeah.
So which we're going to get into a little in a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get into that. The last bit of this, which this is the stuff, Todd, that I didn't have on your show, but Insta360 countersued like 2 days later. They countersued against DJI. Here's what they went after. They said they were going after, like, they're alleging that DJI copied in products such as Osmo Pocket, Ronin, and the RS gimbals, Osmo Mobile, and the Osmo 360, which the Osmo 360 feels like, at least in their software, there was a significant overlap of how you do things that Insta360 100% started. They're asserting patents in 5 areas: gimbal stabilization, gimbal directional control, camera smooth stabilization, telemetry overlays, and panoramic video stabilization. That would be like viewing the entire 360, and then how Insta360 stabilizes their rock steady, or no, I guess that's DJI. The other Insta360's version of stabilization. So that, like, it's interesting just watching these two cameras punch at each other. And I can't help but think GoPro's just laughing in the corner and collecting checks from these Mission 1s.
I don't know how well they're selling.
Yeah.
You know, which we're going to talk about now. You have some cool stuff on the Mission 1 stuff, right?
Who?
Don't
Not
you?
Me.
Todd? No, we're talking about the Luna. I know Todd's got the Luna. I didn't have anything on the Mission 1.
Yeah.
What was the? Never mind. I thought we had. There was something that you showed me. No, pre-show.
Oh, so I will say, I mean, this is just such a crazy tangent, but I did pull this up. We'll go on a tangent for just 30 seconds, and then Todd, we're getting to all of your
30 seconds, 20 minutes. You know.
But I saw this. So this goes broader. I pulled this clip. And Todd and Jake, you like comment on this as well, please. But I pulled this clip to show how our marketing, like the marketing brain of these camera companies, work for us. Like, we have seen GoPro specific, like GoPro right now, but any camera will do this to you, right? Say, you have to have the Mission 1 because this is the most cinematic, beautiful. The bit rates are highest, the resolution are highest. And I saw this intro to, like, it's the first shot of an F1 commercial that was shot with a GoPro 11. And it's just it's a cool shot. Yeah. It looks good. It's at night. And
I mean, it feels like it's out of the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so it feels oh, okay. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't love
it's sharp
white balance on it, but you know, that's
well, that's the grade. If you look at the rest of they're literally like color grading this next to a Komodo. This was just shot 1, and obviously they're using it because you can mount it, but like, that's a Hero 11. So every time a new camera comes out, they always kind of like gaslight you on all the old models. Say, oh, those weren't good enough. This one's so much better. I just think it's interesting. You know, the marketing is obviously really, really good, but you can shoot really good stuff. And it's like we talked about at the beginning of the show, you can shoot what people arguably thought was the best shot on a less than $1,000 Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera that's 10 years old. This is, 5 years old, the 11. It's a far piece back. So that was that was not the Mission. It was a significantly older camera,
camera.
but you know, you can shoot good stuff.
Because I remember sending you a video on it was another car video, ironically, but shot with the DJI. I think it was the Osmo 3 or something like that. It was, and you were like, "What makes it so cool is the subject, not the camera."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Right, of course it's going to look good as long as you can get it in exposure and like put a decent grade on it. It's going to look cool."
Yep.
And because it was these, you know, blacked out BMW driving the streets of LA or New York or something like that. It was some cool, like, you know, comparing it to the FX3 on a tilt system on the back of a car. It's like, oh, you could put this little Osmo on the back, you know, with a little suction cup on the back of your car and shooting another car. And it was like, that just shows you the importance of a good subject. And like, I mean, you look at like even just the simplicity of what you shot at, you know, and what you showed at the top of the show, which was like golden hour, cool, like, you know, with the sun flares behind you, and that's just your backyard, like nothing particularly like crazy, but it looks great because it was at the right time of day. You did that versus at noon rather than 6 p.m. And people were like, oh, well, I don't know. They all look kind of okay. The iPhone might have played better because it's meant for noon rather than golden hour.
Well, I'll ruin your illusion of disbelief, sir. It was cloudy as hell that day. So I got no golden hour. The kicker light that was like coming in as the golden hour was a 60, was the Amaran 60 on a spot. It was silked over my head.
Time you lit it. You had great cloud cover. So you're like, oh, it's bad cloud cover. You actually had great, because it was that you were able to light it. That's exactly my point. You put you wore your hat as a DP, as a cinematographer to go, how do I make this look good?
And I will say too, for that, I have not been a big fan of using negative fill on outdoor shoots. I did a negative neg fill on my like shadow side. I'm sold on it. I was dumb to not do that, but yeah, it was great.
See, I was building a natural neg fill here.
Yeah, you got, as long as it's dark, you have
nothing
like built neg. I want to jump in. M Freedom of Speech, if you're still here, I'm interested. Do you think that we'll get anamorphic filters released in the future? Are you talking about on the pocket cameras? Because that would be wild.
I think they're.
I have one for the Pocket 3. I have one for the Pocket 3.
I think Moment is making things like that already.
The only thing I don't like about anamorphic on that small lens is I love the flares, right? They go whipping across. But on that small lens, if that flare isn't dead center, it gets this weird curve. Like it now it's like it gives away that like we shot this on a small lens, and I don't love that. I have it. It doesn't sell it as well. I think you'd be better off with using it. What I love is one of the features inside it is that you can shoot 235.
Thank you for clarifying on the 360.
Add just a filter of some kind that would give you an anamorphic look.
Yeah, you can fake it. We're jumping.
They definitely have stuff for the Pocket 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, you see company like Newer and but K&F, like definitely they're making stuff for the Pocket 3, and because the Luna just came out, I would be highly surprised that they don't come out in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I had to order an ND filter, and I'm not going to see it till the end of June. I want a variable ND.
There you go. Get that a little bit more shallow depth of field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the NDs are the best call. The only thing I would be interested, I mean, obviously the motors are strong enough, but like an anamorphic lens, I wonder how much is anamorphic versus just kind of cheating the anamorphic, but like those are a little bit heavy for offsetting that. I wonder if you have to counterbalance or if you're just kind of relying on the gimbal. I have one for my phone. I've never used it.
They're surprisingly not heavy. The one on the phone works really good. I have that one. Yeah. I love that Moment one.
I have the Moment one. It's sitting in that case right down there, and it's
untouched.
Never been used. Yeah, I think I did a test shoot on it for once, and I was, okay.
I think it'd
I
be
love the
good
way it
if
looks.
you're focusing on using it in the Blackmagic app. Like if you're just everyday shooting in the iPhone app, iPhone camera app, it's not worth it. But I think if you're going to be like, great, now we can set the ISO, the aperture, great. Now how and why you would use an ND filter in general.
Yeah.
But without further ado, let's actually see this footage.
Yeah, let's get talking about the features of the
stuff.
Luna.
Well, let's
I
talk about the
haven't seen it
features
yet.
first, because we want
Okay.
to talk about the features, because one of the things you guys both tasked me on was, can we connect a different camera companies or Instagram? Oh, no, a DJI microphone, for instance. Yep, you can. You can plug the transmitter into the USB thing. You can't. I haven't tried the Bluetooth. Someone told me you can use Bluetooth, not Osmo audio. I haven't tried that yet. But
so you can use your HoloLens. Like I have HoloLens, so they'd be able to connect.
You plug it in the back, and it says on the bottom, it says wireless transmitter attached, and then it shows the same sound bar as if you were using an Osmo mic. So I was like, awesome. I tried connecting it to an external monitor so that we could test Colden's. I got no image, which was strange. Now, it's strange because of this. I didn't get an image with the Pocket 3 either, but the Pocket 3 will work as a webcam. Yeah. So I'm wondering if there's something in the way it's understanding how I connected it. So maybe because the Pocket 6 did go to an external monitor, and I was like, check this out as a webcam. Someone has said that there's a firmware update coming for the Luna that will allow it to operate as webcam. And at that point, you should be able to plug it into a switcher and then use it as intended as a PTZ if you wanted. So
well, and freedom of speech said that too. That was my thing too. Is like I agree. I would have liked to, and that's covering us up. I would have liked to have HDMI out control. Yeah. So you're telling me, Todd, in your testing, you can't even plug USB-C into your computer and get a webcam out of it? I thought that was one of the features.
I haven't tried that yet. I understand that's a firmware update. I was just trying to get a raw feed like you wanted, because I figured then it would go to anything. If I could get it to go to that, it should work to anything. That didn't work yet, but that may be a firmware thing. It may be once it's got this new firmware update, it will work just like the one that freaked me out that I accidentally found. So they say 4K vertical video, hold it sideways. You can get 4K video, which you hate.
You can get 8K vertical video if you hold it sideways.
I was out on a client shoot, and I was doing stuff in between things, and the gimbal went vertical, and the message on the screen said vertical 4K shooting now. I'm like, oh, it does it. Colden's going to be thrilled.
Yeah.
I think it wigged out. I did something. It got stuck in that position, and it thought I was holding the camera sideways. Is what I think happened. But I feel like maybe it could be done. I think maybe firmware might allow it, because it happened by accident. And then it was like, I couldn't replicate it. Because I did like a triple push on the joystick, and all of a sudden it was like, look, it's doing vertical 4K, just like Colden wants.
That's all we need. That's all we need. But if it shoots 8K, well, okay. Not all.
You got to hold it sideways, though.
Yeah. Which is what we talked. I talked to that guy who, the last show we talked about Cine Gear, and I met a guy who had the 4P. And I got to play with it. And again, it was the same thing. You have to hold it sideways.
Yeah. Which is that's not true, like gimbal mode. That is, you're running into issues. We've covered it, but you're running into now you're horizontal. Like I was looking, the DJI Pocket 3 only goes like 90 degrees on a pan. It'll only go 90 degrees this way, and it'll go like 270 this way, which means that if you hold it sideways and you try and tip it down, you're going to get stuck. Or if you're the other way and you hold it sideways and you tip it up, you can only go 90 degrees and then you get stuck, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But like in practice, when you're running around all day trying to hold this thing sideways, you get weird limitations, and the gimbal doesn't act as responsively. That's with the Pocket 3, so they might have improved that on the other ones. The weird thing that I'm confused at, and I know the Insta360 has this currently, which maybe goes back to our lawsuit situation, But if you have an 8K sensor, you have 8K of resolution, and you just crop the sides out, which is what they're doing to get you vertical, you should automatically have 4K. Why is the 3K? Why are you dropping to 3K other than DJI's Pocket 3? You cut it here and it was 3K.
Yeah.
Like why do we get to 3K? That is confusing to me. And I understand them releasing a firmware to get to 4K because they should have had that at launch. But I mean, you can confirm or deny this for me, maybe, Todd, is like if you go into vertical mode, it really tells you 3K. Yeah,
well, yeah, it does. No, let's see. There. This is 4K. If I do this and switch it, no, I have it on power off. If you do, hold on, I'll power it on. Oh, it does it. It does say 3K at the bottom when you go vertical with the screen, which is a weird thing. I don't understand why they do it. And I don't know why it can't just be vertical in this position. You know, it's already there. Just do the thing. Now, I will say for your use case, though, when you're saying you want BTS, you're not trying to shoot a bunch of crazy stuff for a client. You could just set that up and it's going to track you this way all day in 4K or 8K vertical for your BTS stuff. You just got to mount it sideways. Weird, but it does it. I mean, let's be fair. All of my cameras that I own now, I have to mount sideways to get vertical 4K video. My Sony cameras have to be mounted vertical.
So frustrating though. Like,
yeah, I hear you.
The technology exists. That's the thing that Colden and I just keep constantly for the last I think 3 episodes, because we've been talking about this. Like, okay, can we? It's like it's not like it's new tech.
True.
Like the Mavic has been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think that's the most troubling thing, right? That it's in their drones. They already are doing it. So I think that's primarily the factor. I mean, I don't know why I'm even saying this. It's only because it's mounted vertical. The gimbal in that is mounted horizontally to start with. In the drone, it's coming out of the drone straight, so it changes the way the motors operate. So
you have it's basically like a vertigo mode, which is what's on the Geo, and I don't know how the Ronins work, but like you can't, once you've mounted it this way, you can rotate the gimbal in the vertigo thing and you're fine. That, I mean, honestly, I have asked anybody to give me a good reason. Todd, you might have just been the only person to give me a decent reason why they can't do it. I still don't quite understand it, because it's like you could design, especially the 4P.
The drone works like this.
Right.
So
then you could do it. And I honestly think you can get to vertical that way too, if you switch the joystick to be rotational, and then you can kind of rotate it, and
or just another.
You're right. No, you can't.
See, what Todd's doing right now is why I hate having to hold the thing sideways, because there's so many weird limits when you hold the camera like that.
The gimbal won't twist that way.
Yeah. You need the roll axis, which is weird.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. But my point is, from an engineering standpoint, it's not that seemingly that complicated.
Like, agreed.
You put in another, you don't start the gimbal there. You start the gimbal like, or at least, I don't know, I'm not an engineer and I can go, okay, how would we work around this?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
already in the position as it sits. All right.
So not the best design, but you know, it is what it is. Nothing intuitive. How do you like the remote screen, the removable screen?
That
gimmicky or great?
Blew my mind. Not a gimmick. And here's why. So when I was my first day I unpacked it at the radio station, and I'm like, okay, this band's going to go on in a little bit. I had to quick do all the software firmware updates and everything, got it set up. So I shot it just in regular video mode, but I said, okay, I'm going to put it on the Zhiyun stick, and sat down with the audience and used it like a PTZ. Oh, the bass player's doing something. Used the joystick, moved it over, framed him up. There's my shot. Cool. Oh, look at the girl on the violin. Move it over. It was great. I didn't have to stand. But then I was like, well, now I want to see some gimbal moves. So then I reconnected it and did it. But that And the fact that it has that microphone in it blows my mind. Like, it's such a great idea. Think about citizen journalist, or even, look, we watch the news today. How many people are wearing a DJI mic now? Like, a lot of proper journalists are solo operators now with their iPhone. If you have this and you did the man on the street interview, you could just have this one thing and go out on the street and be doing reaction videos, social media stuff with just the camera and the detachable screen as a microphone. It's such a clever design.
So wait, the screen itself is the microphone?
It has a microphone built into.
That's what I'm like. Wait, what?
The top of it here has a microphone.
That's probably the coolest feature that no one's really talked about until the launch. Was that
now? I would put my news station sticker right here. Hi, I'm Todd from News Channel 5. What do you think about this?
Yeah, going like, hey, hey, and
you've got a microphone.
Like selfie it and go, like this.
Yeah.
Put it on a standing tripod. One of those really simple tripods.
You got it.
Wow,
that is cool. This thing, the only limitation which has been brought up by people is, if you look how small this thing is, there's nothing to it. So this is all screen. No, this is all screen. Like, there's not much room for a battery in this. So the battery doesn't last forever. However, I bet in about 6 weeks on Amazon, someone's going to have a thing you snap onto this and it becomes an external battery for this thing that maybe hangs on your neck so you can pick it up and monitor and goes back. And that's all you're going to need.
I saw somebody else mention a lanyard for that. If you could do a little battery in a lanyard, holy cow. Kenshin asked, and I don't know if you know this, I don't know it. Can you add wind filters? Does it? I know it comes with a wind filter for the front.
This is
mic.
A wind filter. Yeah.
Yeah. But for that little one, because like you said, man, if you could get a little dead cat or something,
you'd probably have to DIY something that you kind of gaffed on.
But again, this is the first one of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
actually,
all of these small companies, whatever.
Yeah.
All of these accessory companies are going to give them 3-6 months, and then the market's flooded with accessories.
Actually, hey, the guy who's currently working on the battery pack, that lanyard, just put a dead cat on the top of it. Just it snaps all on. Done.
We will buy it. Yeah, and we will buy it all day long. Todd brought this one up, Jake. I don't know if you've seen this. This is so cool. This might be my favorite new accessory.
Oh, this is crazy.
And I don't know if it's out yet, but it's
you can pre-order it.
Press the button underneath, and then it will start following the movement of.
Because I wanted them to do that with the screen, like a little gyro thing with the screen.
You can turn. You can do whatever you need to do.
This.
And the camera will.
This is wild.
So you can just kind of hold it, and it'll like just. You don't even need to turn your wrist.
Correct.
Yeah. You just look with your eyes and it does it. Yeah.
Jake, I have said this repeatedly on Colden's thing, on my thing. I get a broken record. They have thought of everything with this camera. Anything you could possibly do. He muted himself. Or am I muted?
Homie, you hit your button. Yeah, I know. No. Jake, I
lost audio. Todd lost camera.
You didn't lose audio.
I get so hyped that we can't even handle it. The computer can't even handle it. StreamYard doesn't know what to do. But basically, that's amazing. Okay, so basically, is it worth $1,000 to go right now and get it? Well, wait, you can't even answer this yet because we got to see the footage.
I only paid $767. I just bought the camera.
Okay, you didn't get the crate. I looked at the Crater kit with the extra battery and the but let's see this footage, Todd.
So can you hear me? My camera's being weird right now. I'll talk.
We can hear you. You look like you're in witness protection. But
I know. I love it. So I'm going to start with. I just want to preface that this would be like dad cam. All of this is dad cam. This is not cinematic. I didn't do this for a customer. I went to the zoo and oh my God. It's summertime and there were 1 million kids there. So I I didn't want to set my camera up on a tripod and walk away from it or anything. So this is just pure dad cam. And a lot of this is shooting through glass, so understand that as well. But I actually like the look of the image. So this is in an indoor kind of primate house, zoomed in. This is the 3X. So this telephoto lens. Now, I thought the detail in this, the hair, the action, everything looks absolutely beautiful. And again, this is just the first shot. Now, the next shot, this blows my mind. This is in their nocturnal area, this little exhibit with like bats and stuff. This is, you go in, it's dark in this area. You wouldn't know looking at this. This is using the pure video. I didn't touch the footage except maybe bring up the shadows a little. This is black light.
What is pure video? For those who
Pure
don't
video
know,
is their night. Pure video is their night vision or their low light mode. Their low light.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks great.
I didn't even touch this footage. I didn't adjust the bats in particular. Look at the detail on that tree. Like, it is like insane how clear that was. There's no noise in the background. Through glass in a very dark space. This is like, you see that blue light off of it? That's how the room looks. It's just dark blue lighting everywhere because these are nighttime animals. The next shot, I mean, this frog, again, same dark spot. I just got up to the glass and he's hiding behind this leaf here. And it's just like, I didn't even know that other frog was there until I watched the footage and back. I didn't even see the other frog in the background. And it like, this camera does sick low light. Now, the bear happened to be right up to the glass, which was cool. So this is just using the 3X instead of the wide. I wanted to kind of, 10-bit log. Look,
realizing it's 10-bit log.
Yeah.
So, and then your Insta-Rec 7:9 conversion, is that in camera?
No, I didn't do it. No. They have you can download them from the website.
Okay. So it's just a LUT that you just put on. You shot it,
a LUT that I applied.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
no
look
extra,
at the detail.
anything else?
No.
Okay.
Look at the detail in this, the dirt, the fur. Like, it's outrageous that this dumb little camera is getting pictures like this. A little glare from that dumb kid who came up to the glass when I'm trying to get a shot. All right. So now, this animal was probably 100 feet away from me. So I shot this with the 3X. The detail's really nice here. When I zoom in and use the 12X, it gets a little soft. Now, could you use this for the web? Absolutely. This is totally usable for a vlog or whatever. You get the story. I mean, you can still see a lot of detail, but that's the 12X. So not lossless. It's starting to get soft here. This is back to 6X, which is my favorite of it's 120 millimeter. It's lossless. And I mean, the detail in this tortoise, the skin folds in his neck, the scales, like when people tell me like, oh yeah, no, you can't use lossless. It's going to be blurry. I'm like, where's the blurry? It's not there. And then finally this lion, she was another one about 100 feet away through glass, 12X. I could never get this with my Pocket 3. It's usable at 12X. So that's the footage I just did for playing around for this discussion. Like I said, just dad camming it, like how most people are going to use it. They're going to go out with their kids and shoot stuff. Most people aren't going to go out and do commercials or something like I'm going to do with it. So I kind of was just playing with what would this look like, especially because I don't have ND filters, because I would love to have shot that with a proper 180 degree and do the whole thing. I have no idea what shutter speed was going on there. Or I mean,
you just had it on auto. Just let
I had I set it at 30 frames and then let the camera do what it would do, because I didn't have a way to, if I tried to control it, it would be all blown out. You wouldn't see anything. So I had to go auto. I really would like to have, I can't wait for the ND filters, but it's weeks yet until I can get them. But what do you think, Jake?
I'm a fan. I like the idea of even just, it's shooting everything in 8K and then being like, great, just know to shoot extra wide and just naturally think with a vertical frame in 8K. But it's going to be 8K on a small camera, not 8K on a, it's not the 12K Pixis, where you're like, oh, that's going to hurt the bank account in SD cards and memory. Like,
have you looked though? Because the 8K can shoot in some Dolby Vision thing. Like it's like some other codec that's like a Dolby. And someone said, I just saw on a video today that it's actually, and I don't operate at your level, guys. I do local commercials. I think they said it was ASUS approved or something like that. Like it would be approved to go into a professional workflow broadcast level.
I'm excited about it. I mean, especially if we can't get the DJI stuff. Like, I mean, two of the things that stand out to me on this is the ability to have the mics that we already own. We've invested in the DJI, Hollyland, Rode, any of these lavalier, this new wave of lavalier brands that are coming out. Like to be able to plug that in and not have to spend another $100 to $200, $300 on microphones saves tremendous amount of headache and heartache.
Now I was stupid.
Is this internal memory or external memory?
I've been using external. I'm 47 gigs just feels limiting to me. I was like, I'm gonna be worried about it all day. So I have like 128 gig card in it. I will say I probably should have brought the creator pack because guess what I did? I went out and bought the single microphone because I spent another $100. So I should have just got the creator pack. But that Insta mic is interesting. And I don't know if we've talked about it. I've talked about it with Colden. You can set it up to act as a true shotgun mic. You can set it to act as a interview mic where it picks the front and back and ignores the side sounds. Or you can set it as omnidirectional. And that e-ink display is really fun. Like, so instead of me marching around with DJI's branding on me, I have my logo on it, and because my wife saw it, was like, is that a sticker? I'm like, no, she's like, what do you mean? What is that? Like my wife couldn't even process what she was looking at. She's like, how does that work? And so I had to like show her the process. She's like, that is the coolest thing. And I'm like, it is, because I could go out for a customer. Like I work a lot with the radio station and I do like these man on the street things. I would just totally put their logo on that while I'm doing the interview, and then that's on screen while I'm talking to somebody. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. Even though I already have, I don't know how many DJI mics right now.
Mark off. I wanted to check. Now I feel like I want to check this because I truly believe you're right on that one, that you can't use other. But can you plug into the USB-C? I know they're so limited because my one complaint I had with the Pocket 3 is now I have the DJI mic, so it was easy for me, but you can't, like their USB-C protocol, you can only go on to share like as a file storage or as a webcam. You can't do HDMI out, which kills me. So I wouldn't be shocked if you were totally right on that and you can't use anything else. So the fact that you can open this up and like the Insta360 can is huge. I will say, I think Todd, you brought it up, that maybe you can do Bluetooth. Anybody watching or us, don't ever do Bluetooth. Don't ever do Bluetooth. It sounds like trash. I bought the DJI Mic 2s because I tried to connect the ones through Bluetooth, the DJI Mic 1s through Bluetooth, and it sounded awful. If you want helmet cam AirPod sounding footage, go for it. But you will get, and I would say, while you're kind of testing that, I would say my only complaint is so far the Insta360 mics sound super thin to me. Yes, Bluetooth sounds so bad. Thank you.
I can't get to Bluetooth.
We have proven it here. Paul has backed me up. Bluetooth sounds like garbage. If you'd like to do your whole podcast with your head down in an aluminum trash can, that's what you will sound like. Thank you, Paul, for backing me up there. I can't deal with Bluetooth connections. So you have to have a decent transmission connection. And it's awesome that the Luna will let you use your other transmitters.
Yes.
But definitely do that, and don't try and do the Bluetooth. Even if they open it up, don't do it. But the mics, and you've tested this, and I've only seen it. I'd really like to see it compared to my DJIs. Everybody that's like done a review video on them has been like, hey, this is me talking, and the Insta360 microphones are cool. It just sounds thinner. If that's like the frequency response doesn't sound as rich as I think. I mean, my Sennheiser, like if we're going to list out lavs, my Sennheiser lavs sound great. The Rhodes, like the Rode 2s sound almost as good. I don't like their UI system. DJI to me is the sweet spot. Those DJI Mic 2s.
That's what I'm using right now.
360 sound thin. What do you got?
DJI Mic 2 is what I'm using right now.
And it sounds so, I was going to ask you last time you were on the show, I was like, this sounds so good. And that's where I maybe test it at some point for us.
So and I'm curious on those tests. I will test it. I'll play around with it for you. If they were using the noise reduction, because it's that thinned it out. That's a problem. The active noise cancellation, it can be really bad, because there is supposed to be EQ features in that DJI mic Insta mic that allow it to get thicker voice or thinner voice. So I don't know, maybe they don't have it set right. Did they say, I don't know if they said it in the videos you were watching, but you can set it to get a rich tone. So I'm going to play around with that and see what we get out of it.
Any processing you do in that little thing is like not going to be nearly as good as just give me a good raw signal and like let me use it. And Paul, thank you. Like he was noticing the same thing. You can fix it in post, but I remember when the DJIs came out, I don't know if you guys remember seeing that, like it shipped, I think it was the 3s. They like shipped with noise cancellation on. And like you said, Todd, like everybody's first review sounded like garbage on it. And then everybody had to come out with another video saying, sorry, I accidentally left noise cancellation on. So maybe that has something to do with it. And also he is 100% right here, because I do the same thing. That little hot shoe that DJI did, like I know this is like, we're a little bit on both sides of the fence, but holy cow, having to, and Jake, I'm sorry, man. You're just, my Canon boy has no idea what we're talking about over here, but God, it's so great.
I'm a Hollyland guy. So, I'm out on both of these, I'm just kind of sitting here and being like, my Hollylands are good. They're solid,
But being able, Paul's right. Like being able, you just slide your transmitter on, it talks to the hot shoe. It's no extra cables, no work. Cause there was one shoot I was on where that darn 1/8" cable was starting to go out, and it killed, like I had to pull, thank God it was recording on the transmitter, but it ruined every bit of audio that was like feeding into the camera. So that's one of the hottest things about those mics, though, is the ability to record in the mic as well with 32-bit float. So I was on a shoot where it's one of these like, we don't have budget for that, and I'm doing an archival video of the event while taking photos of everybody. And they're like, well, we want to have the video. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't monitor audio from 60 feet away. So I got a line feed from the board, and I'm like, okay, sounds good. Fingers crossed. And I put my DJI Mic 2 and I magnetized it to the microphone that they were using, recorded there, 32-bit float. Now, no matter what happens, I've got sound at the source that I could always pull back to. I love that for all of my client shoots. Now, I use that more than my Sennheiser mics, which are great. What, $700, $1,000 systems? But to have that backup recording in the pocket of the person is gold, where I can come home like, ooh, something went bad, got interference. I've got a solid recording.
Yeah.
I'm going to rage bait. I'm going to rage bait Paul here just a little bit. I'm sorry, my friend, but I do have the Nikon ZR. I picked this one up, my friend, and it's a solid camera. I really like this camera. I struggle with the Nikon ecosystem, and I think this one fits for me because I just have the Megadap adapter and it goes all through my Sony stuff. But Todd, you want to talk about 32-bit float? This is one of the only cameras I know that goes 32-bit float on the 1/8" audio input. Everything that goes into this camera is 32-bit float. The
Okay, that's
mics,
impressive.
32-bit floats. And if you plug in anything else, like that was wild to me when I was just out testing the camera, just using the onboard mics, and I pull it into DaVinci and I didn't set anything. So it was like all clipped off, sounded awful. And I just like pulled it down and it just came all right back. It was
awesome
on the internal mics. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yes, I would say you have been tempted. I was tempted as well, my friend. We talked about this on a couple of shows ago. Check your used markets. Like don't go get yourself killed on Facebook Marketplace, because there's some crazy stuff on there. But I bought mine on Facebook Marketplace and I bought it for like $1,700. The guy I came with
a lens,
cards, with the 50mm lens. Like I was all in after that adapter for $1,800 with the battery and everything else. Like check your used market if you're interested in it. I wouldn't buy that camera new, but for used, like, dude, that raw codec, the only thing I will tell you that like it's been reviewed to death. You will cry when you look at how big these red raw files are, because there's no compression in it. It's like straight red R3D red. And it is, I've sent Jake screenshots of like, here's my Sony, here's StreamYard, and 2 terabytes for the Nikon is just brutal. It eats memory cards.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. And with the cost of memory cards right now, it is painful. My hope on that camera though has always been like, always buy a camera for what it is today, not what it's going to be tomorrow, because Sony has only taught us that you will never get the firmware that you hope to get on a Sony camera. But if they could compress or give us any other flavor of that R3D, like that camera is going to be, you will not find them on the used market like you do right now, if they can fix that. If they can't, you're going to deal with very large files. But what I've been doing, I just convert it in DaVinci Resolve, and then I can compress it and leave it at ProRes, and it works. That's my workaround for it. Totally, it's tangent. Sorry, guys, but you know, my one Nikon cell on here.
That was a thing I ran into. I was an all Blackmagic guy for a while, and I had like 3 of the Blackmagic cinema cameras, not the pocket one, but those blocky ones that were like a box. And I love that thing, but we were going through hard drives like every other week, and I was like, because we worked for the radio station, and we would record a band for like 40 minutes, and we'd have like, I don't know how many, half a terabyte every week, and I'm just like, I can't afford this. This is unsustainable. I gotta go back to other cameras.
Yeah. Was that those originals? Did you get the Cinema DNG raw on that?
Yeah, I didn't use it ever, because oh my god,
my pocket, like that was one of the last few cameras that shot like legitimate raw stills at 30 frames a second, Cinema DNG.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of it. And like to somehow loop this back into weird patent lawsuits, Red ruined that camera. And that's like my one kind of tying this back to patent lawsuits. I'm all for protecting your IP. But Red did an amazing job inventing this kind of compressed raw codec, and then spent 10 years suing everybody that tried to do their own thing, sued Blackmagic to take their raw out of it, sued Atomos to take ProRes raw out. Like if you get to that point, how does it not just ruin the industry? Because like to me, I hated Red for 10 years because I was like, I know you can do it. Blackmagic can do it. They literally had to lose their lawsuit to Nikon, and now look what happened. Like, now they got to, go back to daddy because they lost the lawsuit. Like, so that was my tie-in coming back to lawsuits, but Red killed the raw codec for a while.
Yeah.
So
anything, you go ahead, Jake.
No, I was going to say, we have this new segment that you,
you want to go to the new segment? All right.
I think we
Todd,
rolled the intro. We got an intro and everything.
Well, it's a bumper. Todd, you're here for it. This is called Bot or Not.
Bot
and bothered.
And I ruined it. It's bought and bothered, not bought and not. I was testing some things. So let's talk. Like, the idea of this segment, guys, is
Hold on. I don't think we got to appreciate that. Run it again.
all right. We're going to do all right. One more.
Bought and bothered.
I just loved it. I just wanted to give you your props, Colden. Great job. So fun.
So the idea of this, guys, here's my concept. Okay. AI in the creative spaces is like, I'm so freaking torn on AI because we've got so many clips about creatives, filmmakers, people in the creative space being very anti-AI. We have another whole like drove of creators utilizing AI. You're either, if you don't learn it, you're going to be left behind. If you do learn it, you're a sellout. Like, it's hard to walk the line of which I believe in that day. Full admittance, that was mostly done with AI. So I am the full hypocrite in what I use it for. But I thought, as we go through these segments, like, let's talk about one pro in AI, something that we're using it for, something that we've found as being beneficial. And then we can also, crap talk on it as well if we have some issues where some creatives are not so thrilled about it. So I did bring a game for you gentlemen, and anybody else here, anybody that's watching, please join in our game. We lost our screen here. Okay. So here's the game, guys. I saw this on Instagram. This is a bunch of different celebrities. Do you think that these celebrities support AI or reject AI? So I would like your votes here. So the first one, we will start off, I think, fairly easy if you have been following the Backrooms drama or watching this channel. Mr. Kane Parsons, 20 years old, just directed Backrooms. Support or reject?
Rejects.
Reject. Okay, so you are correct. Kane Parsons, we played his clip. He was like, basically, I will never touch AI ever. I do appreciate in the clip that we played, he kind of talked about how it takes him out of a scene knowing that they made an arbitrary decision. My question on that was, isn't that kind of similar to what CGI does? And he was such an advocate for CGI. So guys, what do you like? Do we agree? What do we think?
I would disagree on the CGI argument because that takes true artists to create that. People are laboring very hard, much like a fine artist who goes through all the work in the world to create a painting that looks super real. Well, we could just take a picture, right? But I appreciate CGI because there's work by a human happening at the back end.
Yeah, I mean, even you were just mentioning the photograph analogy, but like, as a photographer, there's an aspect of like, I mean, there's a running joke in the photography community. Oh, what camera was that shot on? Like, that's what makes a good photograph, is what camera. Like,
Right.
No, you could use the worst gear and still have a unbelievable photograph. And it's the eye, it's the composition, it's all of that. And there's a great, in the main argument is, and I'm going to butcher who and what exactly they say, but there's been a handful of very successful artists, which I think might be queued up here later, that it's like, look, AI is a computer. It can only look at what data you've given it. Compared to an artist, they only look at what is not there. They look at a future. They look, all right, well, that's already been created. I'm going to create something new. And they're using imagination. AI doesn't have imagination. They're just combining pieces of a puzzle to try to make a finished puzzle, but that doesn't actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. I'm going to jump really quick because I love all these comments, you guys that are voting in on this. Paul, pro, it's fast. And I would also say it's cheap, right? You don't have to go out and outsource. For my example right here, like I did not have time for this segment to go hire an a cappella group to go sing our Bought and Bothered, and I'm not going to do it. So it's fast and it's cheap and it helps you work stuff out. But the negative, and I like I fully agree with you here that it makes everything start to look the same. And I'm like, I got called out for it. I'm fully guilty of this because I did like an AI generated illustration for my thumbnail on the video that I put out this last week. It had to be fast and I wasn't going to draw it. And it was what was in my head at the time. And I got called out for it. And I agree. Like there can be better ways of doing it for sure, but it is fast and you can get stuff out quickly. The problem is it starts to all look the same. And then I really liked this one as well. I don't know how you guys are, especially on YouTube. I see those like local ads that just run like a really bad AI video and I'm like out immediately. I feel exactly like Kane Parsons here. I'm like, it makes, I can almost, if you like over the top silly use AI for a YouTube thumbnail, I can still get behind you as long as the content of your video is fine. If you use something to sell me your pool cleaning company and you have only just done it with AI, I don't know. Like my brain goes, I'm out immediately.
I just want to know who the guy's voice is. That's the same voice in every AI ad. The same voice. What is happening and who did they sample that from? I hear that same guy every time.
So I'm gonna interject, take us. I mean, it's not a different subject, but I wanted to share this because again, it's very relevant. Did you guys see this experiment that this guy posted on X?
Oh yeah, this is great.
You guys hear about this?
Yeah,
Todd? Yeah,
I did. It's awesome.
So,
I loved it.
A guy posted this photo of a Monet on X and was like, I put the prompt into ChatGPT and it's AI. What do you think about it? And everyone's roasting him. Oh, it's awful. It's this. You don't have this and you don't have that. And little did we know it was the original from Monet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and it was interesting because to me, the conversation that I took out of it, which was there is so many people are like, oh, we don't like AI art, AI this, AI, we like AI. And it's like, this really goes to show the litmus test. People actually are just annoyed if it is AI. Like people don't want AI. You know, as I said, 6.7 million people were like, no, we don't actually want it. And I think that's, you know, going from our conversations from the last couple episodes of seeing these young guys, Curry to Kane, like people are wanting really good art these days, whether it's music, whether it's film, photography. They don't want just generated random, you know, they want real art and they want to know it was from an artist.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I, you guys that might have seen this and I might be the only one here. This is a safe space, right? But like one that I feel like I'm fairly good at pulling that out. Did you guys see the like first time in San Juan Miiho lip sync video that like went around Instagram and like,
maybe
did you guys see that? You didn't? That was like Charlie Puth did it. A whole bunch of celebrities did. That was an AI song from Suno.
Oh,
and it was so catchy. Everybody reposted it, was doing their video, was doing their TikTok version of it. And it took me, I had no idea. And again, I'm the idiot that couldn't pull it out. But like, that was wild to me. When I saw that, I was like, oh no. Like I had that stuck in my head for like 3 days. So, all right, back to the game, guys. Kane, we were correct on. Okay. Martin Scorsese.
Middle ground.
Pro.
Lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
he's halfway. He's halfway.
I'm going to shortcut your whole list going forward. Anybody over 60 or 70, they're pro it because they want to sell the rights to their stuff to be used in perpetuity so that their estate will make money on it. So they're all about it now. If you're young and coming up, you hate it. But if you're on the way down, you're like, oh, I got to keep my legacy going after I'm gone. They love it.
But the thing is this, like, he doesn't own a lot of his IP. That's the thing.
Yeah, true.
Like having known people of the older generation, I'm just going to, fight back a little bit of this. I know a lot of people who hate it.
Yeah.
Who are of that generation. And so, and that's where it's like from this, and I think it's a little bit out of context. He says, it can help filmmakers. Like he's using it specifically for storyboarding. He says, but I will not use it for actual performances. He's using it purely as a pre-pro tool. Basically, it is, yes, taking somebody's job of the storyboard artist, but he's using it purely as a pre-pro tool to make that function easier so he can better do his job as a director, which has always been my argument for it, which is like, it doesn't replace your art. It's a tool to make your art easier and faster.
Yeah.
To take out the things that are complicated that you like, why do I always struggle with this one thing? And I specifically use it on the stuff that's outside of art, the business side, the annoying aspects of life as an artist that we have to do, but we don't want to do, that stops us from focusing on art. And, for him, it looks like for Scorsese, it's like, if it's going to help speed up the pre-pro and be able to better communicate to his team of, 100+ people. So I see, that's why I said middle ground for him, because
you brought it up last time, Jake, and if you haven't seen the clip, I tried to pull it for this show. I don't have it. We'll go find it. Maybe we'll put it in the show notes. But his clip about, and it made a lot of sense the way you explained it too, Jake, was like getting what's in your head as a director to communicate that to your team is often the hardest part about being a director, and being able to like appropriately communicate that, because as like you've got hundreds of people on your team, like you said, Jake. So I saw the whole clip of him like storyboarding it, kind of going back and forth and iterating on, no, I want it to be a little bit more like this, maybe a little bit more like this. I do think I saw why it helped for him. I know he got a lot of backlash though, specifically because he's so anti-CGI that it's odd to see him take even a kind of pro AI. I mean, that's why he's on this list, right? Kate Blanchett.
No.
She lands in the middle for me. I'm going to say no. She
Rejects.
seems arty. Yeah.
I think she was part of the people that helped push this SAG-AFTRA thing into kind of pushing for more rights for humans. So she's full of rejects. Reese Witherspoon.
I say she's against it.
Me too.
Embraced.
Oh.
I don't know 100% of like all these stories, so cut me some slack on this, but basically urges women to learn AI before the industry changes without them.
But that's probably more from the standpoint of like, hey, learn Claude,
tools.
Learn how to use. I don't know. I would assume so. Granted,
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody is like 100% for or 100%. I think it's closer to find people that are willing to say they're 100% against, because it can be popular right now to just be fully against it. But I think realistically, everybody's somewhere on that spectrum in the middle. These are just people that have, been outspoken or been willing to say, here are some things that you can use it for. And like you said, Jake, some of this could be like, just learn how to use it for your business and learn how to get good at it. I do think there's some value in learning how to utilize and kind of work with different structures, because they're likely going to be around, especially if you're in corporate of some sort. Like you're going to interface with some of these things. Morgan Freeman. It's an easy one.
Against.
Pro and ooh, I like this. We're a little bit split. He is one that is against, and I don't blame him. I think that Morgan Freeman's voice was probably the first thing that everybody tried to copy. And so that is exactly why he was. I get it. If you're like,
realize like that voice is worth literally millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like it is arguably the most iconic voice, like top 5 most iconic voices in the at least Western hemisphere, English speaking voices. Like, and what was the documentary he just did? Morgan Freeman.
He's done so many National Geographic and like
it was a new Nat Geo. Movie he just did. I'm curious. I'm doing the research in the background.
He's one. I'm surprised. Just like those other, there's a couple other artists who are like, I want to have my voice, but it'll be mine. but you can use it as AI in the future. I'm surprised he's not on board, because no one will ever be that guy again. He's got such a way about him.
So going to that, Mr. Peter Jackson, what do we think?
I think he's against.
You think he's
He might
against?
be. I'm with him. We're gonna have split again. He might be pro.
Okay.
He was a big practical guy though for Lord of the Rings, and well, granted he was heavy CGI. So
Heavy CGI.
but I feel like I feel he would be against because he like Guillermo del Toro, like to me, like Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, there's an aspect like, yeah, let's use CGI, but like we're gonna make these worlds, and like, so I feel like he'd be again a little middle ground, but
So Del Toro's hyper against.
yes.
You are, which is fair. You are pulling Peter Jackson from Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you saw the Get Back documentary that he did with the Beatles, but he AI'd all of the Beatles voices and was able to pull out different. I mean, he literally developed this technology to like get down to the track level of the Beatles recordings. And so he's definitely pro. And I think it probably came down to his work on the Beatles albums, where he developed all this technology. I mean, this was like a little bit of AI. If you haven't seen that Get Back documentary, it's incredible. It's really great. I think it's a better way of utilizing AI before it was hot button than whatever I don't know who directed it. Jake, you might know who directed the new John Lennon documentary where they used AI to like recreate certain scenes. It was at Cannes Film Festival, I believe, and like people booed it. But the Get Back documentary was really good. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Yes.
But I'm kind
It
of.
was on Apple TV or something, wasn't it? I remember it.
Oh yeah, the Get Back was for sure.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg
Against.
I feel like he's pro.
against.
Oh,
He was our other director that was pretty anti or pretty strongly against using AI. Demi Moore.
I'm going pro again.
Jake, do you have a vote or did you mute yourself?
I think it's again. I think against.
Embrace.
Well,
And I think this is one of those like
pattern in your reject embrace, just so you know.
in mine. I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
In your
I just found
your shot in your selection.
I just
I'm gonna
went
say the
1
next
through
one's
10.
reject. I'm just gonna go right now. Next one is reject.
Lisa Kudrow.
Oh, she probably does reject it though. She thinks she's already. Let's go. Yeah.
But also, like, if I'm not mistaken, she helped push forward with
that SAG vote. Was she
not
part
the
of that?
SAG vote, but a whole like anti-AI in arts thing. I thought it was her. Maybe somebody else. I'm gonna say just because of the pattern I'm seeing, embrace.
I was
But I
going to say
think
embrace anyway.
I think
I'm
he's
going-
the opposite of, if I'm not mistaken, which we'll see right now. He's the opposite of Morgan Freeman, and he went,
Yeah.
"Here's my voice."
Yeah.
He licensed
Yeah.
it. And Todd, like what you were saying, he like that's somebody who was licensing it to try and get paid before they just copied it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Get ahead of it.
Yep. I don't know. Did we have Andy Serkis? Last one.
Ooh.
Reject.
Ooh. He's the king of CGI acting. So this is interesting. I say embrace.
I'm gonna say reject just due to the pattern. I'm gonna be an
Pattern.
asshole.
All right. All right.
All right.
go.
I gotta like. Apparently, I've got a pattern here. I apologize. Yeah, he rejects.
See, but
I
you
get he
cheated.
was
That's not real.
full
He-
CGI, but like the CGI, like the motion capture stuff that he's done is so emotional and human, right? Like
Yeah.
that's why he got
True.
Oscars
True.
for what did he won an Oscar
Gollum.
for Gollum.
Gollum.
Well, and
Planet
then
of the
Planet
Apes,
of the
too?
Apes, and you know,
Yeah.
I mean, he is
he's-
the king of mocap.
He's so good.
So I fully understand him being pro CGI, but very against the
Yeah.
anti-humanity of AI. So that was our game. I don't know if we've got games like this every week. Jake says he's got a game like this for next week already, which I love.
I got
Here's one
our
last
next
thing.
week segment for this.
And this was, so that might, I don't know if that counts as pro or con or bot or bothered, but Mr. Joseph Gordon-Levitt would definitely count as bothered here. And I love his takes on kind of the creative space. He's been very vocal in not only fighting kind of the AI overreach, but just tech companies in general. So if you don't follow Joseph Gordon-Levitt, phenomenal actor, but he's a really outspoken person for just the creative spaces. Here's a clip. I wanted you guys' thoughts on this.
Now, the way the companies are positioning it is they've built their models out of stolen content and data.
Yeah.
Didn't ask permission. They aren't offering compensation, or they are kind of offering compensation here and there, but mostly they're claiming, no, this is fair use. We don't have to offer compensation, which sort of turns them into hypocrites. The fact that they've paid a few companies. And their claim is that, okay, whenever these tools are used, 100% of the economic upside should go to the tech companies, and 0% of the economic upside should go to all the people whose writing and voices and art and creativity and labor and time and skill and perspective went into making these products valuable. These products would have zero value, would be able to do zero things without all of that human input. So I see it going down a pretty dystopian road unless we can establish this principle that your digital self, your thoughts, your ideas, your work belongs to you, and any economic upside from that should be shared with you.
I totally agree with him in principle. The application of this would be entirely impossible. That's, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's an interesting space we're in. I mean, we didn't talk about it this week, but I mean, even on a different realm, but in the sense of monetary exchange, one of the big things is that art director from Obsession, going like, I only got paid $7,000 for this. And, the lead actress only got paid $20,000 and I made $250,000 or $250 million, excuse me. And, the best comment to this is, yeah, Miles Teller only got paid $8,000 for Whiplash and it won an Academy Award. Like, that's indie filmmaking. But then that also set up Miles Teller for an entire career. Like, Little Miss Sunshine was made for nothing. Like, all of these movies, like, that is indie filmmaking. And in terms of AI, though, like, and that's, to reverse it, like, to go back, it's an interesting thing because, again, like, the only thing artists have, and this is where it frustrates me, is like the only thing artists have is IP. And there's one of the biggest arguments and the problems that I've had is fashion designers, people who make iconic costumes for movies. They don't own any of that IP. But the Elsa dress that was designed for that, the person who designs that doesn't get any of that costume royalties. Like, it's a fascinating, and that's why I say it's a much deeper issue than just AI. AI is just the newest version of this issue, which is the subject of IP. One of the biggest trends right now in the entertainment industry is selling your catalog, which is, hey, I came up with this IP and I still happen to own the IP. How much is that IP worth? And IP, for those who don't know what that stands for, is intellectual property, is that you came up with the idea, you own this concept. So to kind of take it full circle from where we started with lawsuits of patents protect intellectual property in physical objects, which is I came up with this mechanical and or design first, and I'm patenting it. It's the same thing with intellectual property, but there's just the idea rather than the physical, hey, I came up with this gizmo gadget for the first time, or the way it's designed, the way it's used. And so, look, it is something that's always like, what is the value of art? And I think it's going to be very interesting over the next 10, 20 years where it all happens. But the same thing with the democratization of music happened 20 years ago with Napster. Napster started to change everything. Then it's been going through the same thing with Netflix and the streaming services, where what is the value of art and how does art get valued? It has become so accessible. And so it's, I can go on this for way too long, but that's kind of my intro to this conversation.
I like Jake didn't think he had anything to talk about this this episode, and so I did try and bring Jake at least a little bit to get you.
You know what to get me excited about. You know what to get me.
I will say the one thing though to that argument a little bit. I don't know. I may have been extrapolating. I have a lot of friends who are musicians. I think Napster led to the development of eventually of Spotify, and Spotify has ruined music. So I think we look at that and think, what will AI do to all the other art forms? Because we've seen what happened with music. Music is a nightmarish industry to be in, primarily. And not only that, the products that are coming out are all garbage now too, because Spotify and everybody is just telling people to create for a song, and the song has to be just like YouTube. It has to catch me in 5 or 10 seconds and has to progress, and that's it. Whereas back in the day when Tool, for instance, wouldn't even put their album on iTunes because they were like, people need to listen to the album front to back. It's a whole story we're telling. And if I just sell them 46:2, which is probably my favorite song of all time, but if we just sell them 46:2, they're not getting the story me as the artist wants to share. And so
I agree and disagree. I mean, we could spend a whole nother 2 hours.
This is a whole nother episode, gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is great.
Because I have a lot of friends who are musicians and family who are working musicians.
Yeah.
And with Spotify and Napster, so Napster devalued music, but then I think actually in the last 5-10 years, just the industry itself has 180'd, where most of the money was in publishing. Like, you were wanting to be the songwriter if you got placements. Like, that was the trend for the last 10 years post Napster, was the money was still in the IP.
Yeah.
But it's actually 180 in my opinion. And it's because at first independent labels started to win. And then now with Spotify, if you actually own the masters, you could literally become a multimillionaire. Because I know artists that do not have to tour, that can stay at their home. They release a song a week, know how to make good videos, but they have to be the record label. Realize you have to be the record label. So you have to know how, yes, you are having to shoot videos. You are having to record. You are having to know how to promote. But that's what a record deal does. And because of that, you can own 100% of everything.
Sure. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
So, yeah, you're having to run ads. You're having to, figure it out. But there are guys who are literally crushing the game as musicians, never having to leave their family. Now, they can still go on tour. They can additionally get that, income, but they don't even have to anymore. And so I know we're totally away from music, from film and, but it goes to the creator economy, and it goes to kind of what we're talking about. Like, you look at a guy like Curry Baker, who was able to make movies like Obsession, but before he made Milk and Cereal for $800, an entire feature film. It didn't really go anywhere. He uploaded it to YouTube. He made Obsession, continued to refine his craft, made Obsession, sold it at the film festivals. He literally has already shot his next feature film before Obsession was out. They're literally in post-production with Bryce Dallas Howard and Aaron. Oh my God, what's his last name? Aaron Paul, right?
Yeah, Aaron Paul.
Yeah, literally before Obsession even made money.
Oh man, with Aaron Paul. Oh.
Two massive Hollywood stars.
Yeah.
And now he's slated to and the man literally I don't know if you saw this. I sent this to you, Colden, Todd. But Todd, he turned down $2 million.
Yeah.
Because the studio wanted him to do a rewrite. And he was like, no. Imagine at 25 years old, turning down $2 million to Talk about artistic integrity.
No,
Like
he's breaking the mold, and that's
Kane
the stuff
Parsons,
I like to
20
see.
years old,
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
with a free VFX program called Blender make this. And so yes, it's just different now in terms of art. Like,
Yeah.
because my father's an artist, right? He comes from a generation that, like, again, you would make an album, but now you have a guy like Russ, who's a rapper, who can release a new song every week for 2.5 years and start making $100 million as a musician himself.
Yeah.
Who doesn't need a record deal, who doesn't need radio play, because he knows what to do. And so, Colden, you just get me started talking about, about the game as an artist. You get me out of tech and you go into the higher level stuff. You get me talking. But my point is, I don't know what my point is.
Well, I can let me jump in then, because I'll say here's 3 things. First thing we learned is that Todd is a huge Tool fan. And I love that. I respect that so much about you. That's something I learned something brand new today. Todd's a Tool fan, and I respect you even more today because I learned that. Secondly,
Perfect Circle too.
Perfect Circle's so good. Jake, you have perfected the roundabout to come back to the patent story, and usually that you kind of allow me to take that, linking us back through. That was a fantastic way to get back to IP and our lawsuit story from the top. So you both have thoroughly impressed me. And the only thing I could have added to this conversation was how Spotify feels like the new YouTube / Kane Parsons and Curry Baker. And dang it, Jake, you took that one from me too. So well done to you both. Todd, we have chit-chatted here, and thank you to everybody that's hung out with us, but we have darn near maxed out. We're trying to break records every time we do this podcast, Jake. I think it's just like, well, we held on for 1 hour and 20 last time. Let's try and go for 1 hour and 40. And now we're like breaking 1 hour and 50. So thank you to everybody that's held out with us for this long. We appreciate you. And I think we got a little bit, I think bought and bothered. Should we stick with that? Should we keep that as a segment?
I think we're gonna do an AI segment. I think we need, maybe it's a new name, but I like having an AI segment because it's definitely like AI in the arts, AI in arts, AI, arty AI. I don't know. We'll have a new version of the segment, but I got some hot stories. They're nothing particularly brand new, but some interesting AI stories that I can bring next week. And then Todd,
the camera summer's gone, guys. We will have something brand new by next week, or some camera company is going to fight another camera company. I'm like waiting for the UFC at the White House death match between Nikon and Sony. Like something's going to happen wild. By next week, we'll definitely cover something.
You can call
Todd, you got an idea?
Yeah, AI ain't intelligent, and you can go with that. You can steal that right now.
Love it. Yeah, go patent it right now.
That's right.
Somebody will come and sue us.
Yeah, that's right. I've got a T-shirt. I'm making it now.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is the Creative Lens. Until next week. See you later.
See ya.